tonight. That is what I asked for. Give a happy birthday to Julia. I wasn't going to open with this, but I want to say I am Canadian. And the blackface thing was obviously really tough. It's really hard because it's like we have a prime minister who wore blackface and you guys have a president who thinks there's nothing wrong with that. Ooh, happy early Thanksgiving. Yeah, who are you texting? Oh, you're Yelp reviewing this place right now. I went on Yelp because Steve tweeted about Yelp, so I went on Yelp for this place. I was going to write a nice review, but then I saw all the reviews were either 5 stars or the ones that were 1 stars. All the 1-star ones were just like, that fucking comedy show. Like, people hate it, but I'm like, look at people are standing outside because they can't get in. That's probably who's tweeting, or Yelping at the bad reviews. They're like, that comedy show's bad. I don't know, they don't know. Okay, God, you're done. Glad we fixed that. Okay. You're gonna be a lot. My whole set. Happy Thanksgiving. That's what I was saying. Happy Thanksgiving. You guys all live here. Mostly. Anyone going home? It's a really bad segue into my joke, anyways. I know it's really hard for people who are liberal, who have conservative parents. My parents, I'm not trying to brag, but my parents are very liberal. But they're so liberal that they've made me be a bit conservative. My parents remind me a lot of Portland. You know how you walk into Portland and you're like, yeah, of course everybody deserves rights. And then you leave Portland and you're like, I don't know if everybody deserves rights. I don't think you should have to pre-sign up to vote, but I do think you should have to shower to be able to vote. And then Portland would just be out, which would be bad for us because I'm a Democrat. So I'm not a Democrat, I'm a Canadian. My parents, yeah, right, they're very liberal. They're too liberal. My parents raised me in a nudist colony. See, sometimes in LA, I'll say I was raised in a nudist colony and there's always a woman. It's like, oh my God, cool, crystals, I love crystals. You're like, nudist colonies are great for adults. Don't raise your child in a nudist colony. For me, it was just so scarring because there was so many naked people playing tennis. For most of my youth, I thought tennis was just played in shoes, socks, and that's it. And then I saw Wimbledon and I was like, this shit's crazy. That skirt, is she allowed to wear that skirt? Side note on the nudist colony, it was called the Four Seasons, which I think is particularly funny because it was a trailer park. And it was also in Canada, so you could only be naked for one of the 4 seasons. That drunk girl, I don't know if she's drunk, loud, assuming her hair is getting braided. These are the things I'm seeing from on stage. My mom is also an anti-vaxxer. I know. Listen though, she was well ahead. Are you worried that I'm going to give you something? I was like, my mom didn't vaccinate me. You're like, I have to go. No, my mom she was... Is this me? Yeah. Remember when I was like, I recorded an album here, and now you're like, I don't know if she should have ever recorded an album. She's funny, but can she use the mic? I can't get a read on America if you guys do this here, but in Canada, all through school you get immunization. So everybody in grade 3 gets the blah 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 immunization, and then in grade 5 everybody gets the, well, I obviously didn't get them, so I don't know what they were. But when I was in grade 8, and for you guys that's 8th grade, everybody was getting the HPV immunization. And my mom and I used to fight about shots a lot, but this is the one that I really remember. Everyone was getting the HPV shot, and my mom wouldn't let me get it. She said, all that's gonna happen is if there's an outbreak of HPV at the school, then you're gonna be the first one to be evacuated. Now I'm like, oh, she didn't even look into what HPV was. I didn't know what it was either. I was a teenager, so I would just remember being like, I hope someday I get HPV! Really walking the crowd tonight. But now I'm moving to America, and America is like, you need all of your shots. What are you talking about? So I've had to get all of my immunizations. I have them now. These guys are missing out. I'm not contagious at all. But I've had to pay for them all. Because in Canada, you get everything for free. It's really sick. But here I had to like pay for everything. And my mom feels really bad about it because she knows I'm really poor. And she knows I'm not successful. And she knows that that is ultimately her fault. So she was visiting recently. And she got drunk at my house. And then she just turned to me and she said, tell me. You didn't get HPV, did you? And then I looked her right in the eye and I said, I did get HPV. And then she started crying. And it felt so good. I didn't tell her it's affected my life in like no way whatsoever. I got the one that gives women cancer like nobody cares about it. Not the warts one that anyone can get, no. Piece of cake, scrape it out. That's what they do. When I was told I got HPV, I got a phone call from the doctor. And I was at my boyfriend's house, and she was like, hey girl, you got HPV. And I got off the phone and I looked like sad, and my boyfriend was like, hey, like, what's wrong? And I told him, he goes, oh, don't worry about it. Everybody I've dated has had it. You gave it to me. I just got a driver's license. That's not a market. I'm not 16. That's what you're thinking. I just got my driver's license because I live here now, and it says, it says I'm a man on my driver's license. Which I'm fine with because it means I'm going to get paid way more than I deserve. I'm like, what a great time to be a man. What you want, for sure. Especially a white man, woo, killing it. So good. No, it is a real hard time to be a man right now. I know it's rough. People are getting like mad at stuff though, like that shouldn't matter. Like people get mad at hashtags. My favorite one is a lot of people got mad at the believe all women hashtag. Like, believe all women? Believe all women? What? Like women can't lie? It's like, no, of course women can lie. We can do anything a man can do. We can lie, we can murder, in some places we can be president. I just think that the point of that hashtag is that the percentage of women who are lying about being raped is much lower than the percentage of men who've been raping. And until that evens out, we're just gonna believe all women. Listen, it is a slippery slope. You're right, it is a slippery slope. But you guys created a slope and then you jizzed on the slope. Yeah, sticky. It'll dry up. I've noticed in the last few years, like a lot of people are coming out as bisexual, which is great. I was kind of surprised because I was like, oh, I thought we were all just fucking each other this whole time. I didn't know I had to put it in my bio, but great. You know, my mom called me, she's like, did you know Mariah's a bisexual? I'm like, yeah, of course she is, like she's alive. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes I'll go up to my friends and I'll be like, sometimes I'll go up to my friends and I'll be like, oh my god, that girl's so hot, I have such a crush on that girl, and my friends will be like, oh, what, you're bisexual? Have you ever had sex with a woman? I'm like, of course I've had sex with a woman, I'm a human person. I wouldn't date a woman, that's crazy. But, you know. Oh, everyone's pretty bi, I think. The only people that aren't bi are people who are like, I'm gay. And you're like, okay. But for me, like, I hate it. I'm not bi. I'm Georgea. And for me, though, like, what happens is, like, I'm attracted to men for, like, 5 years. And then I'm, like, attracted to women for 5 years. Right now, I'm attracted to women stage. which is only really annoying because I just married a man. He's beautiful though, so it's like pretty easy for all of us. I have to get off stage because they did ask me to do that quite a long time ago. My name's Georgea Brooks. Thank you so much for having me.